Well, over the course of the last few years, we've looked very carefully at the resources we had, the strategy for growth in the future, and what we felt we needed to have in terms of resources and people within the business. What struck me when I first came into the business was that we had no training program, no management training program. We had no graduates. We had no A-level trainees at all, and we had no budget for training staff at all. So over the course of the last few years, we decided that what we would do is embark upon a program where we would invest heavily in new staff in the business, as well as cultivating the existing potential and talent that we have within the business. So we've been going through a process of introducing a management training program, and so today we now have 5 graduates within the business. We have 2 A-level trainees, one of which is a rocket scientist of an individual when it comes to IT, and he's been fantastic. He's sorted out all my issues on my laptop. And then we've created this sort of Rising Stars program, because for me it's not just about bringing in new talent and developing existing talent within the business. It's ensuring that you keep that talent and stop it moving elsewhere. So you've got to have a vibrant business, it's got to be growing, but it's also got to be attractive in terms of nurturing that individual and creating opportunities for them in the future. I liken it to having frogs in a wheelbarrow, and what you're trying to do is ensure that those frogs don't jump out just any time. And what you need to do is to continue to remind yourself that talent can just move on. So unless you create an environment for those people to actually enjoy what they're working, see themselves grow, and be part of a successful company, you'll lose your best asset, your people. And what we've tried to achieve over the past few years is to broaden our platform and our proposition to ensure that when the economy did turn, we will be in the right position to capture the opportunities as the economy started to recover. And I think one of the first things was to ensure that we had a broad range of trades and that we were in a position to capture builders as they came out of recession, because they're the first, and then to ensure that as it moved into the other trades, whether it be heat and vent and electricians, we were well positioned to capture those too. We're now in a position where organic growth is running around 8-9%, particularly for some of our larger customers, and some of those very much focused on the new opportunities that are coming out of the southeast in particular. And I think that's where we really do believe that we've got the timing right, we've got the proposition right, and with the economic recovery and the infrastructural moves that have been made in terms of development across the UK. It doesn't matter whether it's HS2, a new runway at Heathrow, where, for example, it's reported that if that new runway does go ahead, it will create 150,000 new jobs in the southeast. For the runway and the work that's involved, there's some 10,000 operatives will be required in terms of training. And it doesn't matter, it doesn't stop there, it moves on to Hinkley Point. Hinkley Point, the development of the new nuclear power stations across the UK, with Hinkley Point C in the offing, and last week alone there was an announcement that EDF have announced 1.2 billion of contracts were preferred bidders have now been identified, and one of those is very much heavily in the electrical arena, is Balfour Beatty Bailey, where they formed a joint venture, and it was announced that they've been awarded a £450 million contract, which will require them fitting out what will be something I believe of the nature of 180 kilometres of wiring just on Hinkley Point C, which will require recruiting 1,000 new engineers to do that work. And because of our crossover proposition between our sister company ECIC, which handles the benefit programme, elements of that benefit programme are then underwritten by the insurance company, we're in a unique position to be able to support the economic growth across the UK. So the timing couldn't be better. The company's in a really good position to grow, and very pleased with where we are. We're a small company. We managed to demonstrate that we can grow the company organically without the need for acquisitions. And I believe that we have the potential to double the size of the business in the next 5 years.